Hello and welcome back to my Shadowbringers stream. I didn't really record anything in the last week because I was pretty busy with work. I actually started a new job, and since the introduction phase was over last week, I actually started to really work, so that kept me busy. But I shall now try to finish Shadowbringers in the next, 38 days, because an Endwalker is coming out and I'm kind of running out of time here. Alright. What did I do last week? Right, we saved the Crystarium. And we should be getting, yes, one of my favorite scenes in the base Shadowbringer game. Which is probably one of the three most memorable scenes for me personally. So I'm always looking forward in watching that. So let's go.
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need? Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me. I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far! I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium! The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and sin-eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my sin-eaters. It is only right that they respond in kind. Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
This is such a powerful scene, mostly carried because of Lena's voice acting. This was probably the second time I cried. I did cry a little bit at the Tasleen scene, but the Lena scene was like really very emotional for me myself. So the scene has a very special place in my heart. I always wonder when I'm going here, like, what have you seen? I really like this tiny little speech bubbles that pop up when you're getting past the NPCs. You know, just tiny little stories here and there that just makes it feel like the world is a little bit more alive. I really like it. All right, I guess it's time to go back to Armoring, which has probably one of my favorite Urianger scene in there. It's like, I feel like his entire character development was actually in that story arc, and it just was so impressive. Ignore my husband or the coughing you might hear in the background. What I wanted to say, right? Urianger's character growth in that area is like so much, so great. It was truly surprising, actually.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Arm-Arang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Arm-Arang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Arm-Arang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do! I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation, but it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
Well, that was explosive, and I guess it's, I could understand Thancred here quite well. I mean, I'm playing now since 1.0, so, and I also started in older, so I really, over the last, 10 years now, Thancred was always the character that was around my character. So I have a very soft spot for him. He better not die, even an Endwalker. So I understand that. I think the thought was here that with one of them having to die, there's the conflict that he doesn't want old Minfilia to die, but on the other hand, she's a young child, so it's a sad thing altogether. Anyway, we have Emmett here, which means we get another talking point with him. Will you never grow tired of shuffling your feet? If you have something to ask me, ask. Tell me about Zodiac. As I told you before, Zodiac is a creation of my people, the first people. We summoned him as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural. There's no resisting such power. And so we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the rule of darkness, his darkness. Of course, some would call us evil for it, and they would be fools, though that is only to be expected, given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of our universe. But I believe I'm repeating myself. Do you not trust me to speak honestly? Do you hope to catch me in a lie? Really, I have no need of deception, and even if I did, I assure you, you would find it quite indistinguishable from the truth. And yet, I kind of feel he lied here. We know that at this time we don't know, but we will know later in patch 5.4, I think, when we free Tiamat. That even though they might be tempered, they are very much in control of their thoughts and actions. So, it's the same with Tiamat. While she is also tempered, she is still her own being under the same is basically with Emetzelk and La Habrea. So I feel he might not have lied, but he did omitted some truth in here. Alright, let's keep going. How fitting that it is raining, isn't it?
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
Alright, we return to Amarang. I will take a quick break here and we'll be right back with the next part.